what the best thing you can do if you want to be publishing cases is to first sign up to be a reviewer. So immediately after you go home today, sign up on the Emerald Emerging Markets Case Collection, send me an email, send an email to the editorial office at Emerald and say you want to be reviewing cases. Because what that does is other people who are writing cases, their cases will come to you and you will have to be the critic to say, I will use this, no I won't, this is coherent, this is good, publish this, or no, 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 don't publish that. It needs to be fixed, and these are the ways it needs to be fixed before it can be published. And when you do that for somebody else's cases, and then you go and start writing your own case, you remember that really well. You remember that if you told somebody else they should have, all the abbreviations spelled out, you better spell out the abbreviations you're using in your case also. So it's the best way to learn how to write good cases is to just sign up to be a reviewer.
And what qualifies us to be a reviewer?
Initially, just your interest. Most cases that we send out for reviews, we have minimum of 2 reviewers, and if we know you are a new reviewer, we will pair you with a more experienced reviewer, so that when the 2 reviews come to the editor, I look at 2 reviews, and if they're taking the case in 2 different directions, I give direction to the author and say, take it in this direction. And then the reviews come back, and you can look at the 2 reviews for the cases that you've reviewed, and you say, oh, somebody else said this. And then you may agree or disagree, and learn from that process as well. So you might learn what somebody else is looking for. And it often happens because people, depending on their background, will want to see more or less of something in a thing, but it's a great way to learn.
Just one question. As it is, there are very few journalists who publish case studies solely, right? So if you become a reviewer, should we contribute that to the journal?
Yes. Yes, there's no conflict of interest in being a reviewer or being an author. In fact, at Emerald, we insist that every author also reviews for us. Because if we are taking your case as an author and having 3 other people invest time for no money to read your case and help you improve it by giving you feedback, you better read 3 cases for us too. Because how else will we find reviewers who will continuously be reading other people's work?
It should be reviewed and submitted within committees.
At Emerald, we want it done in 2 to 3 weeks, but there are journals who will give you 2 to 3 months also.
Okay.
So these are the guidelines we give to our reviewers.
Wait, the likeness side, are you paying for it?
Nobody
Likeness
pays.
side.
Nobody pays for reviewing. This is part of being in the academic profession. It's a peer-reviewed process through which we all improve each other's work. And we know that we keep each other honest. So join the community.
Yeah, sure. How do you review the reviewer?
Good question. We at Emerald we have the so I'm the editor-in-chief, and I have 7 regional editors in 7 different parts of the world, in Russia, in China, in Brazil, and those 7 people deal with the cases from their region, because I don't know anything about Africa or things. So the regional editor makes the decision, recruits the regional reviewers who review the case. So editor makes a call on whether the reviewer was on time, whether the review was relevant or not, because they read the case and they read the reviews. And they read more than 1 review. So if you just say yes to all the cases that you read and just publish it, or give comments that are not very helpful, say, there's good reviews and bad reviews. And as you start doing them, you'll realize. So good reviews will look at what is the author trying to say and help them say it better. And bad reviews are, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is what the author should be doing, because that's what I want people to be doing. That's not a very helpful review. So empathetic reviews who look at the case from the perspective of the author and the situation that they're trying to describe, and giving them tips on finding what's best in it and improving it is a good review. And the more specific you can be to say, in the history you didn't tell me about who owns the company or how long the company has been. That's very, very helpful, because then the author says, oh, I need to write that. It might be in their head, but they may not have written it. But if it's a general comment that says, oh, your communication is very poor. The author doesn't know what to do differently, because when they start communicating, they want to be good communicators. They're doing their best. And if somebody says, your writing is not very clear, they don't know what to do differently. But if you give them specific comments and say, give me the date the company was formed, give me the shareholders and who owns the company, then they know how to do it differently. So be specific in your comments, and that's being a good reviewer. Don't give generalized comments like, there are typos in this. Well, pick out the typos, you read it. Say page 10 has, these 3 words that are misspelled. Then the author knows what to go and change.
The reviewer's name is also printed on here.
So there are 2 different kinds of review processes depending on the journals. There's the blind review. Actually, there are 3. Blind review, double-blind peer review, and transparent review. Transparent review is very, very rare. We call those editorial decisions. Journals will editor will decide whether to publish or not. In the peer review, a double-blind peer review is that you don't know who the author is and the author doesn't know who the reviewer is. Both are anonymous to each other. Of course, after it's published, the reviewers can see who the author was, but till then, they don't know. And a single blind review is where the author remains anonymous to the reviewers. The reviewers remain anonymous to the author, but you know who the author is.
But the review's name will be published in the sense that when you fill the
No.
piece,
No, it's an anonymous
It's a
process.
for social cause you're working.
So your name will be published in our reviewer list. So if I'm reviewing for 2 journals, my university gives me a pat on the back to say, oh, you're doing service to the profession because you review for 2 journals. So if I'm serving as an editor, that is a voluntary job as well. I spend 2 days a week doing that. I get paid nothing for it. But my college recognizes that it's a service to the profession, so they give me less service inside the college. I don't have to serve on a recruitment committee, or I don't have to serve on the library committee or something else that I might have to do, because I'm serving the profession in a different manner.